full of liquor, then we dive in it. Pull him to the side, let me slide in it.
SmackDown for March 21st opens with Randy Orton cutting a promo and inviting out Kevin Owens to a beatdown. Then the usual threats and blah blah blah. First match was Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. Damian and Jimmy won, and of course Drew jumped Damian right after the match. Champion Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair were interviewed for their upcoming match at WrestleMania. Next up was Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman again, and Braun Strowman won because of the interference of the Bloodline DQ. LA Knight came out to give him a hand. Next match was Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega. Piper won. Then the match between Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. Liv won due to Naomi and Raquel Rodriguez interference. Next match, the Street Profits. They, well, first off, it started out as a promo, and then they were interrupted by Delgado Fantasma, which is basically Los Garza, and Pretty Deadly, and it culminated into a match between Los Garza and the Street Profits, and the Street Profits won. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman comes out to do a promo, calls out Seth Rollins, and CM Punk comes out also, and that turned into a Donnybrook. And that was SmackDown. Next up we have Raw for March 24th. John Cena opens with a promo, and Cody comes out and interrupts him. And the usual back and forth for WrestleMania. First match was Jey Uso versus the A-Town Down Under. He was supposed to have a mysterious partner, which turned out to be his brother, Jimmy. And of course the Usos won, and of course Jey was attacked by Gunther again after the match. Next match was Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Championship, the Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria won, but then she was attacked by Raquel and Liv afterwards, and Bayley came in to make the save. Io Sky and Bianca Belair signed their WrestleMania contract again. And again, Rhea Ripley comes out and interferes. Next match was Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano, which is basically just Chad Gables, I believe. And El Grande Americano won via submission, thanks in part to him trying to rip off Dragon's mask. CM Punk cuts a promo on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Then the last match of the evening was Penta versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. And Braun Breaker won, thanks in part to the interference of the Judgment Day. It turned out to be a DQ, which means Braun keeps his belt. But he also got attacked by Judgment Day and Finn Balor. And that was Raw.
Okay, Chad Gable? That's not Chad Gable.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but they're making it look like it's Chad Gable.
Yeah, I was noticing...
He has all of Chad's mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah, but if you look at their physical attributes, the new guy is way skinnier, while Chad Gable is more top-heavy. And I was noticing that. I'm like, that, they're playing it up, but it's not. Apologies for this video. I am sick, so I will sound a bit off. With Rhea Ripley trying to force her way back into this title match, I find that quite funny. But it's like, Rhea, you lost that title. You were so busy thinking about Bianca, which has been shown time and time again. You don't think about the people outside of the ring. And that's always going to be your downfall. Especially when you let your head get too big. And I feel like with her not having Priest next to her, her head is getting too big. But that's just my thoughts. Do you have a wrestler of the week?
Nothing stands out for me this week.
I don't have one either. With Gunther getting absolutely him getting the shit slapped out of him. Sorry for my language. Hilarious. Really funny to see. I loved it. Jimmy did a great job, and I can't wait for their fight next week. Okay. Jay did another slip. I don't know if they're on purpose at this point, but I saw it immediately, and it was just like, wow. He took that step and he just fell straight on his face. I have no idea if these are on purpose, but if they are,
I'm sure it is.
That seems a little mean.
I think the first one was a mistake, and then they just doing the other ones to capitalize on it.
I don't find anything like that interesting about him slipping like that, other than like, aw. That just seems sad. It wasn't like funny to me, but meh. Judgment Day. I knew immediately that Penta wasn't going to join them, but I thought Finn Balor was going to turn that night. I thought he was going to turn because the way he looked at Dominic. He looked at Dominic with that chair and he jumped at him. And my thought is, oh, he about to hit the out of him. And then he didn't, and I was so confused. Also, I think Carlito might be, like, he might have brain damage. I'm so sure of it. Because he was talking to himself in the clubhouse while the other three were talking to each other. I think he might have brain damage. What do you think about, what is his name? Wonder Boy? Not Cody Rhodes. The original Wonder Boy. What is
Wonder Boy?
John Cena.
Wonder Boy.
Well, when I grew up, he was like all for the like America and the troops and all that. So I equated him to being the original Wonder Boy. Can you blame me?
Okay.
But him, what do you think about him saying he's about to like end wrestling?
I hadn't really thought nothing about it. It's just talk.
Well, yeah, it's just talk, but it's like, it's funny that his head has gotten so big that he thinks he is this company when he hasn't been here for like the past 7 to 8 years, right? He stopped wrestling back in 2017, I think.
I forget.
So, because I remember seeing him in movies around that time. So, I remember he stepped back from wrestling and got into movies. So, for him to think he is the face of the company and for him to still think he is the biggest name out here is quite funny. Like, yeah, people know you from back in the old days when you used to do your little wannabe rap star career and I can dance and whatever. But let's be honest here. You haven't been here in such a long time. People forget you're a wrestler. I know a lot of people who didn't even register that was his first job. So, for him to think he's still out here and as great and as amazing as he think he is. I need him to faceplant hard. And I don't think he deserves his 17th championship or whatever. Why did he get 17 championships? That seems excessive. God, that is excessive.
That's having a good long career.
Yeah, but that... I don't even think Rey Mysterio has had the championships that many times. That just seems like a lot. Killian Cross. I think that's his name. He's
Karrion Kross. Yeah.
He's planning something in the background. I don't know if you noticed it in last week's matches. On Friday, I'm pretty sure. He talked to somebody. I forget who he talked to for a second. But, I remember who he was talking to AJ Styles.
Right.
And I remember that because I was like, oh, 2 long hair muffins. But, he was talking and he said something and I'm like, what is he planning? He is planning something big and I need to know what it is. Because we haven't seen him in a minute. So for him to pop out with a plan like this is kind of confusing and unsettling. Also,
did you happen to see him in the picture with at Ricochet's wedding?
They got married?
I believe they did.
Damn, I didn't see anything on their Instagrams. Damn it. I'm slipping on my job.
After I saw it, it looked like they were dressed as if they were in a wedding.
Did they show that on TV?
Scarlett was congratulating somebody, so I'm assuming it was Ricochet and whatever her name is.
Did they show that on TV or did you see that online?
No, I saw it on Facebook.
Okay.
It was on one of the wrestling pages that come up.
Nah.
I was just surprised because I didn't know they were friends.
No, they didn't post anything on their Instagram accounts that I can see. From what I know, Max and Dupree got engaged with her NXT boyfriend. And they've been planning their wedding.
I might be wrong, but I know it was a picture of all 4 of them, and she was congratulating Ricochet, and so I'm assuming that they must have gotten married.
Had to be to a different girl, because these two, she didn't post anything on her account. I'll look into that some more later. But, what was I just thinking of? Oh, the favor. About how CM Punk was about to call in his favor. I'm getting so more annoyed because it's like, what is this favor? Because it feels like y'all are dangling it over our heads more and more. What is this damn favor? And I'm thinking the favor might have to be for him to drop, for Paul to make Roman drop his guard. And not even realize he's doing it, but Paul might be working as a double agent now. Which is hard to believe because Paul is quote-unquote so devoted to Roman, but let's be honest here. All of them are backstabbers. They'll backstab anybody in a heartbeat. So.
That's true.
Because look at Jacob Fatu. I love you Solo, and now he's side-eyeing Solo. Heavy. Man had a shiesty mask on a week ago. That is a YN ready to crash out. And I'm so sure of it. And when Fatu crashes out, I'm about to be so excited. This is... Okay, we'll end the recording after this. Because I just saw something online that made me really happy. I don't know if they're still playing into it. I'm pretty sure they dropped the Jay and Rhea storyline. But they keep posting videos and pictures of them online together. Which is weird. Because they're not going to push the storyline any further on the show. So why are y'all showing it on y'all, like, social media, you know?
Right.
Because you're making fans think y'all are going to push the storyline just for you not to. And it's going to make more of us just upset when we finally see the end results. But that's just me. And I know you don't care for it, but I love it.
I'm glad you said that.